Hey horror fans, once again it's the Horror Misermani G, and today we're going to talk about Amityville The Awakening. Now, Amityville The Awakening is a 2007 supernatural horror film. It was written and directed by Frank Kofkan. It stars Jennifer Jason Leigh, Bella Thorne, Cameron Monaghan, and Kirkwood Smith. This is the 10th in the Amityville film series. So many Amityville horror pictures. Amityville horror pictures back when we saw the first original Amityville horror, which was based upon the true story, supposedly true story about this family that lives in a house where earlier before Robert DeFeo killed his whole entire family because he said voices told him to kill them, and they stayed in there for at least 39 days, and they admit that something was alive in the house, and after 39 days, they left, didn't even take their furniture. They just upped and left. And that's what the movie was based upon. And here we have a whole bunch of sequels, spin-offs, and now we have this one, Amityville The Awakening. Now, the premise in this particular movie is very interesting. Basically, Bella Thorne stars as Belle. She is the sister or the twin of, I think the kid's name is Billy. I forgot to take a look at that. The kid's name is Billy. Along with her mother, they move into the infamous house. Their mother knows, but she doesn't know, to take care of her brain dead brother. And they eventually move into the house, and of course, it doesn't take long before weird shit starts to happening. And she realizes that they actually have moved into the same house where a guy killed all his kids. And something starts happening to her brother because he's brain dead, and all of a sudden he gets better. And as time goes along, we have to find out what's happening with her brother and see if not they can escape the evil that's about to hit them, or the same thing might happen to them as opposed to what happened to Ron DeFeo and his family. That's basically what the premise of the movie is about. Now, as far as this particular story of Amityville, I was actually pretty impressed by how they made this film. This film doesn't divulge into any of the continuity that has taken place in any of the Amityville horror stories, spin-offs, or even a remake. This is actually a type of a meta film where it actually takes place in the so-called real world, our world, and it basically states that all the movies are pure fiction. They do account for Ron DeFeo and what he did while he was in the house, but everything else is basically fiction. They even talk about, they even have the movies there, the sequels, and the remake. They even poke fun at the remake because a lot of people didn't like it. And I thought it was pretty interesting premise that they decided to put this film in the real world and not make it in continuation of what has been done in the movie. So I thought it was pretty interesting what they tried to do here. No, I really haven't had a chance to watch Bella Thorne act. I guess she's pretty good here. She does what she can with the script in hand. We do seem to sort of care about her. Obviously, we don't know later on in the movie what happened between her and her brother, but she does tell the story later on. Right around, I think, around the second act, and I guess that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to make us care about the character and not reveal what had happened to him, to her brother, until later on in the picture, and we find out what happened. I won't spoil it as far as what happened, but you can see that she's, throughout the film, she feels guilty, and we see the type of relationship that her and her mother has. The mother is really trying her best to think that her son is still there, even though we know that when a person who's brain dead, there's really nothing left of them. They're just a shell of themselves. And eventually, whatever evil is happening in the house is making him feel better. That's also causing her mother to, I would say, not sketch out, but cause her to think delusionally. But yes, Bella Thorne does a really good job. She does a pretty good job of what she has to work with. And that's really the only really good thing I really can say about the picture. Not that it's a bad picture, but I do like Bella Thorne's performance. Now, the problem I basically have with this picture is it really doesn't know what it really wants to be. It doesn't really want to be a scary picture with jump scares, because we do get a couple of jump scares. Do they really want to tackle the demology or whatever the mythology this film's supposed to have? It doesn't really know what it wants to be. I do know that this film was filmed like at least 2 years ago, and it sat around all this time before finally um, Jason Blum and his Blumhouse production team finally got it, and basically really couldn't find any place to distribute this film, because I think most people are just tired of the Amityville series. Like I said, this is the 10th one, and they really didn't know what they wanted to do here, and especially when it comes to climax, I thought it was kind of anticlimactic. There's some scenes in here that it's like, again, I think they were trying to go for an R rating, but for some reason they decided not to, and there's some stuff in here that just didn't make any sense. As opposed to earlier films, such as The Bye Bye Man. It's like, come on, people, go there. It's like, that's why I really don't understand. If you're going to make a horror movie, don't be afraid of showing some blood. Don't be afraid of, showing some blood. I mean, that's part of being a horror movie. I mean, you're going to show blood. I mean, come on now. If you can make a horror movie work like Happy Death Day, where it did have some blood, but you want to keep it sort of like PG-13, then show some blood. Don't be afraid. Don't half-ass it. And that's what they basically did. They half-assed it right here. And that's my whole problem with this film, is that they really didn't know what they wanted this film to be. Like I said, they all know they want to include jump scares. They don't know what they want to stick with the mythology of the film. They don't know. I really don't know what they wanted to do. It's like the writers of the film had ideas, but they didn't know how to execute it. Now, there are some creepy scenes in the film. I believe Cameron Monaghan, if I'm mispronouncing his name, please let me know. He does a good job of looking creepy when he has to be, being the fact that he lays in the bed, particularly the entire film. So I give him credit for being creepy in some of the scenes that he needs to be creepy in. But like I said, it's just sad that there's some good talented people here, and I'm pretty sure they thought they were trying to make something good, but it's just one of those half movies that, I can see why this film didn't get distributed and why it's where it is right now. So on my scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give Amityville The Awakening a 5. So, my horror fans, what do you think about Amityville The Awakening? Did you like it? Did you didn't like it? Did you think they actually had a good idea by making it put it in the real world as opposed to making it part of the continuity of the film series? Make your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know. We'll talk about it. As you know how I felt about the film. Maybe you liked it better than I did. Like I said, leave your comments in the comment section below, and we'll talk about it. Well, that's my video for Amityville The Awakening. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it as well. And this is your first time here, please hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell. That way you can become part of the horror experience with me, the Horror Miser Monty G. And as always, all my social media links will be down in the description below as well. I am on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And I'm also part of the nice group of Killer Flicks, where we talk about horror all day long. And on Fridays, we have Free For All Fridays. We basically talk about anything. Come join me on Killer Flicks as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember, horror rules.